Come alive. This was a topic I was going over a few things, and I kind of saw that it was in a speech by Oprah. Fulfill the most truthful, highest expression of yourself. Come alive every single day. Be who you are. It's a deep thought, and wanted to share with all of you guys. It's about who you are. Are you being true to yourself and living that life? As a human, put all your energy and thought into lifting yourself up. Oprah was quoting theologian Howard Thurman, and the quote was, "Don't ask what the world needs from you. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go do that, because world needs people who have come alive and know who they are." Fulfill the most truthful expression of yourself like that. Who you are. Become that human who is a nice person, who's a good person, who's a kind person to others, who's open to discussions. Reach that max limit of humanity in you. What's the max you can do to be a better human, to be a better person? Use that energy to grow you. Our big goal in life is to find us. We should be those humans which we all want to be, and we all have to work around it to become those humans. Be alive. Be that person who enjoys everything to the fullest in their lives. Self-talk. How are we talking to ourselves? What are you talking all day long to yourself? As humans, as these women that get lost in mundane everyday tasks, we don't pay attention to what we are saying to ourselves about us. You tell, "Oh, I'm not ready for this yet. Oh, I have not made up my mind fully on this action." Yet, another things are, "I don't have enough resources to start a new project." Or maybe you'll tell yourself, "I'm not good enough." So this is all the self-talk which we are doing, and it's all negative. Just stop. Just stop doing this negative self-talk to you, to yourself. Change this narrative from negative to positive. From, "I don't think I can do it," to, "Yes, let me at least try it." The whole perspective about this thought changed. I was like, "No, I don't think I can do this yet." And then suddenly, if I tell my mind to be positive, I go towards, "You know what? Let me just give it a shot. Let me just try it. Let me see where it goes." So your self-talk to you should be super positive. Brain has immense power. If you put your mind to something, you will do it. We all know that. We all hear it all day long. Take that first step for a new business, for a new project, whatever it might be. Make that first swipe to go on a date. If you're looking to go get hitched or something, just do that. Say yes to yourself. Say yes to your dreams. It's so important. Don't drown yourself in your 9 to 5 tasks and kind of forget about your dreams and your thoughts to do something different. All this comes from how you address yourself and what you tell your brain and your heart. Just be very positive about what you're telling yourself. The change for ourselves is in our own hands. No one is going to come and say, "Go pursue you and follow your dreams." So it's in our hands. We have to tell ourselves, "This is the time. Let's do it." It's our self-talk that will make it happen. You don't get anything until you ask for it, even from yourself. We might be thinking that it's only an ask from somebody else, but it's actually an ask from yourself. You ask you, "Am I ready? Let's do this. I am ready." Have a deep conversation with yourself and make that ask from you to show up for yourself. You need to show up for you. It's time. Time is now to do things you want to do. Nobody has promised us tomorrow. Change up the self-talk. Start asking yourself, and do the right things. Empower yourself. Everything is going to be fine. This is such a mantra. Total believer in it. I was going through a few things, and like I said, the bigger picture, everything is going to be fine. We will all be okay. Most of the folks should have this kind of a mantra in life. At least that's how I feel. I was listening to this podcast with Sanjay and Suhas. They were discussing this attitude of being okay in all situations. In my life, I have always said that to my kids, my family, everything is going to be fine. If you kind of put this into the universe and think about this in a very positive way, all the energies start working towards it, making it a fine space for you, for your life. We all get anxious. That's normal part of life. About things going on in our lives, in our circle of friends, or in a bigger picture, things around the world, the politics, it all makes us anxious. People being not nice to each other, the bad things going on around us in the world, all this makes us sad. But if you put this in your mind and in the universe that everything will be okay, then it's a much better state for you and for things to fall into place. Because if you think in the bigger picture, we're all just playing a very, very small, minuscule part in this big universe. We are just this tiny being in the vast cosmos. All we can do or all we can think about is do all the right things. Be honest, be kind, be a nice human, work hard, do the things that you all have to do to make our lives fulfilling. Do all your tasks well, and then leave the rest to the higher being. Trust that all will be fine. How fortunate we are. Never forget that. We all are very fortunate folks. As the year ends and the new one starts, there is a reminder we all should give ourselves. I was browsing through material that I connect with and came across this. These stats make you stop and think. Change your mindset to positive side. If you have food in your fridge, clothes on your body, roof over your head, and a place to sleep, you are fortunate than 18 to 20% of the folks in this world who don't have these basic things of life. Another stat that came up was, if you have freedom to travel and you spend money on things that you want to buy or wish for, you're among the 30% of the world's wealthiest folks. If you are alive and kicking and you have more health than illness, we all have something here and there. You're not feeling well, or my backache happened, or my leg thing happened. But in a bigger picture, if you have better health than the illness part, you're more healthy, you are better off than millions of people who won't survive this year. And if you're listening to this today, you're reading this, you're comprehending this message, you are better off than billions of people who either cannot see, cannot read, or cannot understand the message that's being conveyed to them or presented to them. Life is not to complain. Our pains and sorrows are there. They will always be there. But we got to look at it in a positive way. We are so ahead of so many other folks who are suffering and going through life. It's not easy. No one said it will be. No one promised us that everything's going to be okay. We have countless reasons still to be happy, to be grateful, to feel blessed. Count on your blessings. Don't worry about the pain and the problem. If you are putting your mind towards the blessings, see your mood soar up high. You belong. You belong here. You belong here now. It's your space. It's your jive, and you belong. It's your calling. It's you. Be you. I've always said to all my listeners, just be who you are. Just be you. Start taking these external layers off to find the real you. Living in this world, doing the things that we all do, and going through different relationships, growth, and other things, sometimes we lose ourselves as individuals. We are not we're not paying attention as we should to ourselves. Peel off those layers, peel off those external layers to find who you are. Just look inside of you. There's this podcast I was going over about, Brynne Brown was talking, and she was talking about being authentic. Don't go through life not being who you are. You belong here now. Be authentic to yourself. Don't think you are not enough. Never think that. I don't know why this whole concept, especially in the teenage groups and the younger groups, it's becoming that you're not enough. I don't know why. You are all the things that God wanted you to be. You do what you need to do. You experience life the fullest. You should experience how it should be done. And our worth and our belonging is in our hands. Do not change because someone else wanted you to change. Don't negotiate that with anyone. Because if you negotiate and you change, you lose you. You give your power away. So, your self-worth and your belonging is in your hands. You carry yourself in your heart. You know who you are. Be very clear. Do not negotiate that with anyone in your life about who you are. Be true to you. Because if you negotiate, you're trying to fit in. And that fit in situation just is a downhill. Just look into yourself, a deep thought, who you truly are or what you truly want to be. And just be that. As I say, I will be me, true to myself, true to my core, my being for which God put me here on this planet. So research shows that creating quality family time has amazing results. It's becoming one of the most difficult things to do in today's fast-paced life. Each family and each partner has to sit down and figure out their own thoughts and plans intentionally to balance all the three: their work, their family, and how the marriage is working out. It's not a one-fit-all approach at all. It's actually very unique to every family, every couple, how they're going to make it work. Here are just a few pointers that we can talk about. Create quality family time is kind of the first things that you can work on. Chalk out a time which is only mom, dad, and kids. It could be a game night, it could be a movie night where you talk and play and connect without distraction. Don't have phones around you, don't have any of the other distractions around. Just totally intentionally connect with your family. Example, what worked for us as a family with grown-up kids was, as we called it, the talk time. All four of us would put an hour aside to sit in a family room and talk. And as a mom, usually I would bring up the topics of discussion that I wanted to chat about or bring up or talk to the kids about, like what's going on in their lives, how is their dating going on, what's happening with them right now. I have to say, it worked very well for us. And as time went on, we are becoming a much closer family where we discuss things and bring things to the table and talk about them. Even though the kids don't even live in the house anymore. But we try to put a weekend group chat, also a FaceTime chat together for the evenings so that we can bring things to the table and talk. So unique family ways to connect will be yours. You decide what works for your family and what's making it work for you to connect, quality connection with your family. The second part of this equation is your marriage. All we can talk about or start our talk about marriage is nurture your marriage. Find and plan one-on-one time only with your spouse. Be open to express your appreciation and gratitude. We are all easy on talking about what's going on wrong in our lives or what's not going right. But in our relationships, it's good to bring up what's actually going right and be thankful and appreciative of your partner. Try to bring honest, straightforward conversations and thoughts on the table for discussion. We women sometimes we beat around the bush and we don't focus on resolving the conflict and talk about other things. Talk, resolve, get it out of the way so you can move forward. You can get to the next level of discussion. Another big point, how the work can be addressed, when you're between the balance of work, marriage, and kids and family. Don't bring work home. It's easier said than done, I have to say. But it's the best way for your marriage to work well and have that work-life balance, where when you are with your spouse or family, you're not distracted. This way, you prioritize each thing and giving that particular task on hand its full due. And I guess as you move through life, it's more important to have clarity, keep things clear. Again, I'm going to go back. It's easier said than done, but at least intentionally, we can start working on these things and try to do them. And if it works well and the results are better, voila, there you are. When at work, be present there and try to wrap it up. Try to finish everything that you can do at your office time, work, or even if you're coming late at home, that's fine. Try to wrap it up there so that when you're home, you're with your family and with your spouse. These are all just suggestions as we all learn to be better humans and balance our work-life balance and try to have better marriages. See if it works for you. Share your thoughts on it. Tell me what worked for you. Let's share our thoughts. Your emotional intelligence is directly proportional to your success. Let's talk about EI today. The dictionary meaning of EI, or emotional intelligence, is the ability to manage both your own emotions and understand emotions of people around you. A Harvard study, research-based, gave us techniques for mastering EI. So the study says only 10% of your success in life comes from your IQ, which is your intelligence quotient, and 90% of success in life comes from your EQ, which is your emotional intelligence. It's becoming a number one skill for thriving in work, relationships, and life. Here are some tips how you can increase your emotional intelligence. Number one on that is called the 1 second rule. When emotions are high and you're hit hard with the emotions, pause for 1 second, it says. Just that 1 second. You will see your shoulders, your whole persona is so tight on it because your emotions are high and you're breathing so fast. Give it a second. Just take one deep breath and see how it changes your thought process on it. Rather than answering anything in that high emotion state, take that 1 minute, which is called the 1 second rule. Take a deep breath and then move on and answer those things. Your mind will become calm and it'll be easier for you to understand what the other person is saying and easier for you to answer those things. That's emotional intelligence that you're trying to bring into your life. Second thing is master small talk. We've always thought small talk does not make sense, but sometimes small talk is where you start and then you build relationships. Then the deeper conversations start because you made that first effort of having a small talk. That small talk becomes a bridge to deeper connections. More the connection, more you are successful to get your task done on hand. The Harvard study gives us a technique called FORM to master these connections. Basically, it says FORM, which is F for family, O for occupation, R for recreation, and M for message. This is just to start connections with somebody. Start that small talk on subjects. F, family. You can just say, oh, how's your family doing these days? Anything on occupation? What keeps you busy these days? Something on recreation you can talk. Are you doing anything this weekend? Anything fun coming up? It just starts that basic conversation with the other person where then you get into a deeper conversation. They start talking about something, you pick something from there. That's how your emotional intelligence with that person increases. The last one was message. If all of this is happening, you're making that small talk from these questions, then it can come to a message where you are actually interacting with them with some meaningful thoughts and meaningful message being conveyed. Strengthening your social skills by listening. Just take a minute and listen to the other person. We all are actually always ready to answer and give our thoughts on things, but give it a minute and see how your emotional quotient increases if you are listening to the other person. You might think that's kind of, just a simple task, but see how it works for you. There is another rule that Harvard gives here called 100-minute rule. What it says is that every week for about 100 minutes roughly, practice these three things. One is how to hold eye contact with someone. Learn and take a minute to see, can you hold somebody's eye contact? Just look at people and see deep into their eyes. Another thing is nod to people. When you are listening to the other person, give a nod so that the other person understands, yeah, you're paying attention, you're engaged with them. Ask more questions. If you're engaged and you're listening, you're going to ask more questions anyways. So that strengthens your social skills with people, which in turn increases your emotional intelligence. The last thing on this thought process is learn more emotional vocabulary. For example, it's a simple question on it. Rather than saying that, oh, I'm feeling so bad about this, actually use a word. I'm really overwhelmed with this thought today. So what it does is you pull it out, you say it, and it makes it 50% less intense. Check it out. That's what the research has been saying. Once you say out your emotion loud, you will actually see that it decreases the intensity of that emotion by 50%. So the key point today that we discussed is increase your connection, emotional stability with yourself and with others. This is what is going to make you thrive in life. How to communicate better with your spouse. We're all trying to get better at our communication with our partners and trying to make the marriage work, have more better interaction with them. Here's a few pointers from a study that worked, and it's research-based thoughts on how to communicate better. Sit and talk. Say it out loud. Sometimes we suppress our feelings and thoughts. It's better to say it out loud and clear and let the other partner know what's bothering you. This should be done, though, in a very congenial way, not aggressive, not hurtful. Be very calm, but get your point across. Put it across what is bothering you and make it happen very sweetly and nicely. Another big point on that is clear tasks. Marriage is a 50-50 commitment. All tasks should be put on paper and divided among husband and wife. If wife is cooking, then hubby should be cleaning the dishes, taking care of it, or vice versa. If both are working and coming home at the same time, then both should be helping out with dinner or figuring it out with the kids what needs to be done. Whatever process works well for you, but there should be clarity of tasks. And what the research says is put it down on paper, all the tasks, and then just figure it out what's going to be on your plate and what's going to be on your plate. Having it clear and written down is so much easier and less conflict comes through it. Just divide them. There is less resentment because of this. It's been shown that the chores around the house are so mundane, and anybody who's doing those chores is going to get resentful if you don't share those tasks. Another big point in this is listen and trust. Stop and listen to your partner with full attention. Put your phone away. Even all the complaints should be listened to with full attention and a purpose to solve them. Just don't you're doing something and your partner is complaining about it and you're not listening fully on it. Don't do that. Give total attention to that. It builds trust in the end. If you are paying attention to what the problem was and trying to solve it, there is a trust that gets built between the partners, that you care for them and you're paying attention and trying to solve it. Also, not try to blame every time. Simple example about this is, don't say you never help me around the house. You can say, I feel so overwhelmed when I have to finish all of these tasks. They're just simple two different ways of saying it. But with the second one, you're not blaming your partner at all. You're just merely saying that you are overwhelmed doing all of those tasks. Another big point in this is manage conflict with calm. Don't raise your voice. And this is research-based study. The more calm you are addressing with anyone, it could not just your partner, anyone in your life, the situation can be solved better if you are calm. Don't raise your voice or bring useless personal biases in your conversation when resolving any conflict. Ask more questions about it, what the problem is, how your spouse is feeling and why they are feeling about it. You are actually interested in solving the conflict, and that's what happens to find a way out of it. That's the best way to solve that conflict, with calmness. The next point in all of this and what the study was showing was use empathy more in your relationships. Don't think about your problems all day. Think about the other person's problems too. Give empathy to this thought that your partner is also going through a problem. They are also trying to figure things out, and it's not easy. So empathy, key point in this. You both are under stress to make this work the best way possible. These are just priorities and points for help. And I understand, easier said than done. It's not easy to do all of them, but at least we can all work on it. Last but not the least, be honest. In all your conversations and dealings with your partner, it's best to be straightforward and truthful of how you feel and see if it works for you, if it solves the problem. Honesty is the best policy, as we've always heard. But to be very frank, if your efforts and all of these things are not helping, you are not resolving the conflicts and it's not helping to communicate with your partner and it's not getting to the next level, seek help. Don't hesitate to see a couples counselor. There is no shame at all in getting some help and solving the issues. If you're committed, you will find a way to make it work. There are no major other outside issues to tackle, then make this work. Why not? Marriage and love are such an important part of our lives. It's a commitment to stick with our partner through thick or thin. If we keep that in mind and keep it as a key point, we will find ways to work. Although, like we talked earlier, if there are no other major issues, if somebody is not truthful with you or somebody is having an affair, the game totally changes. Then it's a different thought process. You as a partner are committed to a project to bring up a family. Think about it like this. It's a project. You both are working towards that project to bring up a family, to nurture a family. Let's give it a fair chance. As grown-ups, as humans, if you both feel that you're working towards a common project of doing that, it's just easier to make the adjustments that you will need to make, rather than thinking, oh, it's you trying to make something happen. If you're doing it as in partnership together, and think about bringing up a family as a project, it's so much easier to work with this. You will find a way then. Share what practice has worked for you. What's been your family's key point, or how you partners have had better relationship? What worked for you? Share your thoughts in the comments. Recently, I learned this new term, kin keeper. It's someone who cultivates a sense of family solidarity, makes constant effort to keep the family connected, shares family news, organizes family gatherings, staying in touch with extended family, cares for all, provides emotional support, and medical care for anyone in the family. It's such a new term. I was not aware of this term. I came across it, did some research on it, and figured out where it started and what it's all about. Sociologist Caroline Rosenthal defined this term in 1985 in an article she published. Kinkeeper term became very, very popular in actually 2023 due to a TikTok video by Molly West, and then people started talking about it. It's a term. If you think deeply about it, it's been here for generations. We've just not named it as what it was. Think it this way: who organized the last family get together in your family? Who got the menu ready? Who made the calls to the family members? Who called the guests, sent the invites? Who got the gifts? Who sent the thank you notes later? Most of the time, 90% of the time, it says it's the woman in the house. She's the kinkeeper. That is the kinkeeper, the person who's been doing the background work to keep families together, the traditions together, and following those traditions and making it happen to go into the next generations. All kinkeepers spend time and effort and energy and emotions to keep the family together and to bring the extended family together. Usually over the years, it has been either your grandmother, your mother, or your aunt. Could be anyone in the family. Rarely it's a man, but at least that's what the studies show, that it's mostly the women who carry this thing through. So this all behind the scene work that has never been appreciated or accounted for. It's never been formally called out as work, although it takes time and energy and emotions. We women just take on this responsibility of kin keeping, of keeping all of these things together and become the glue in the family for future generations. Kinkeeper is the one that becomes responsible for carrying on old family traditions, making new traditions as we live our life and we move through our life. Another thing coming to notice is that as the family dynamics change, and if the next generation does not want to be a kinkeeper, which is happening often, nobody wants that effort in their family time right now to be putting a lot of big get-togethers and getting people together or making the family traditions. So if that happens, do you think our family traditions will kind of fail to get into the next generation, or your family qualities, the unique qualities in your family are not going to be passed on to the next generations because there's no kin keeping happening? What's to happen in our culture as a whole? Are the traditions going to be forgotten as generations roll on? I don't know. Food for thought. What do you think? Are you a kin keeper in your family? If you are a kin keeper, what are your specific traditions that you're trying to follow in the next generation? Most important love is for yourself. Learn to live by yourself, love yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Be independent. Learn to live alone. It fills your cup, and you can help others to thrive by helping them, by filling their cup if your cup is filled. So live, learn, be with yourself, and see how it helps you. I was listening to Dr. Joe Dispenza. I do listen to him quite often, and such profound thoughts that he puts across, which are so right to think about in a deeper way. So he was talking about learning to live by yourself and being independent, and not being very dependent emotionally or physically on anyone. Most of the times in our life, there is someone around us to bounce our emotions, and there is dependency. Even emotional dependency, not just the physical dependency or financial dependency, it brings some really very negative connotations with it. Living by yourself gives this fantastic, deeper insight into ourselves. We get to know about ourselves more. Take time and see if you can live by yourself, even if it's sometimes just a few days or maybe a month or whatever you feel. And as growing up children and as they start living their lives and they become as young adults, they should be given that opportunity to live alone, to learn more. Most people spend their lives in constant emotional dependency. That's a stat, that's a research based stat, that most folks are emotionally dependent on other people. And they constantly are bouncing feelings off of others, looking for validation, seeking for emotional support through outside sources. It's a very, very unconscious process that happens without you noticing it. But when you live by yourself alone, something profound happens, and you learn the ability to process, understand, and regulate your emotions independently. And as a result, your EQ, your emotional intelligence, grows at a very, very fast pace. You become emotionally very, very independent, and the EQ increases in a big way when your kids are ready to go to college or are going out to different cities for jobs. Push them, encourage them, tell them that they should do it and go live their life and live alone. Because as they learn to live alone and manage things on their own and becoming emotionally independent humans, it just makes such a big change in their life. They just become more adaptable to live in this new environment that we are all dealing with these days. Share your thoughts, comment below what you think about it. If you've lived alone, how it has worked for you, and we can discuss more. Thank you. Stop putting others first and yourself second. In a very recent past, a dear friend of mine passed away suddenly at the age of 55. No one plans for things like this. It just comes and it hits us one day, and that's it. Boom, it's done. You're gone. Since I've known her, she was a dedicated mom, a good wife, a very diligent daughter-in-law, taking care of everybody around her, and a very dedicated, loving daughter. Family and everything to do with the family was such an important thing for her that she would be so involved with all of that she would hardly come out for any of our friend meetups or say any of the girl trips, or she would even miss on sometimes friends' birthdays and other me time activities that we would be doing. And she would be there for some of them, but she would miss out a lot of them. Her constant excuse used to be that, her household cannot function without her and she needs to be there to take care of things. And, this person got sick, so she has to be around. This family is visiting. So it's always used to be something or the other, and she would miss out on certain things. Nothing wrong in it. That's the right way of living life and doing whatever you feel is important at that point of time. So she would say, no one does anything around the house, and so I have to take care of everything. And, that kept her busy all the time. It happens to most of us as women, as we are running around doing our things and we don't plan time for ourselves. We all give up on these little joys sometimes to take care of the responsibilities. And like I said, there's nothing wrong in it. That's the right way to live the life. But there is a very fine balance in life, where you should give time to yourself and should give time to these things too. After a few months after she passed, I ended up meeting up with the family. The husband was sad, was missing her, and I said, "So how's it going and what's happening?" He said he's back to work and he's spending more time at his golf club with his buddies, and he's joined a golf league, so most of his time goes into that. Uh, Both the kids of theirs were busy with college and studies, and they were in the process of moving out to their, respective college towns and just prepping for all of that. And the movement was happening. And the husband told me that they had hired a lady to get things to be done around the house. So everything was different, but surely moving on. Yes, with sadness, don't get me wrong. But it was moving on and it was rolling on. So moral of the story is, I feel my friend missed out on a lot of living and enjoying of her life because she thought that she could not step out of her house because things won't work if she's not around and everything will stop. But that doesn't happen. Even if that one day comes and you're gone, people who are left behind are sad, but things keep rolling. There is one life to live that God has given us. It's beautiful, it's precious. Although as women, we have our duties and responsibilities to fulfill them, and be there for your family. But find a healthy balance. Find some time for special moments, for fun, for me time. Fill up your cup. If your cup is filled, you give more. Sometimes in hindsight, I feel that she used to be so stressed with what's happening, what's going on. Don't know what happened, how just at that young age, she was boom, gone. Share your thoughts in the comments and tell me what you think about it. Things to discuss before you get into marriage. And if you're already married, let's sit down and talk about them now, these things, which will help you to have a better communication and a better future with your marriage. Youngsters these days are so much into this physical attraction, the looks, the way the person looks or the person dresses up, and nobody's focusing on the deeper points. Is this person a good match for me? Is this good for me long term for commitment? Will we be able to sustain this commitment? These are very important things that youngsters should be chatting about and talking about. Few things that kind of came up, and the top one on that criteria was family background. How you grew up, what were your family values? What is your family background, your traditions? Is there any similarity between both the people that are trying to get into this marriage, and what kind of adaptability or change you will bring into it so that it works? Learning about the person's background gives you a perspective for a future together. Living situations, you should discuss the living situations that you will be in, because when two people come together, you start your life as two individuals living together, having fun, just enjoying your life. And sometimes there's some discord, but you start living together and enjoying the moments. And then kids arrive, and they should be taught before you get into this commitment that what do you think about kids? What are your plans? Do you plan on getting help from your parents or some family members to bring up kids? Or even thoughts like, would it be your wife's parents, or would it be the husband's parents? Do you plan on wanting someone to move in with you to help, or you have the funds and capability to hire someone like a nanny to do it? Or another option that a lot of folks actually go in for, that will the wife take time off work and then she will be taking care of the child for a few years? These are very real questions. It just opens up a plethora of talk situations for the partner, deeper conversations, how you plan to do all of these things. Another big one is finances. These days, usually the girl and the boy, they both work. You have two salaries. Discuss it. Do you want a joint account for expenses? How are you going to start all of that? Do you want to keep separate accounts and then just put some money into it every month? Do you, and bigger question, how much do you plan to spend? What do you think should be a good way of living? How much? What is, do you think about budget? Sometimes it happens that one partner is so budget oriented, wants to do everything like that, and then the other partner comes into it in the marriage and they are not thinking about these things. So it's good to discuss because research shows that budgeting or financial situations become one of the major issues of discord in marriages. Career paths is another big one of it. If you're both working and one of you gets a job offer in a different state, do you both plan to move together there? Or one of you will give up your job and follow the other? What would be the criteria to make that decision? Discuss openly all of this. The more you talk, the better understanding of each other, the expectations and clarity, and how you want to move forward with this most important decision that you're making through for your life. It's marriage is super important and very difficult to manage. It's not easy. It's a lot of adjustment. Whatever can be discussed and cleared before you commit is better. And again, not that everything is written in stone. You adapt and change and develop as you go. That's the whole point. That's the key. It's all about finding a common solution to issues that arise as we live and as life happens. I'll just share something right here, very personal to me, but I'll just share. My mother passed very soon after I got married. It's been eons, but she passed very soon after I got married. It just simply changed the whole terrain of my marriage. I got depressed. I was very sad. I lost hope in life. I was very close to my mother and was kind of banking on living through life with her guidance and help and all of that. And here, suddenly everything changed for me. I'm the older sibling, the older child at the house. Here, all the responsibility of my maternal home, younger siblings, and all of that came on me as I was the grown-up child in the house. In a moment, that gatekeeper responsibility, boom, got dropped on me. You just grow up in that one moment. Such is life. So, why I'm saying that is there are tons of things that just happen which you don't plan on. You cannot discuss these things beforehand. You don't know what life will bring. Life is not fair. It happens. So what we're trying to say is the things that you can actually discuss and get them out of the way and have a better thought process how you will be living together. Tell us what you think. So why do 50% of marriages fail? These stats are staggering in today's times. Tons of factors for it. Lots of research-based factors for it. So one of the key factors that came up was that maybe we as humans are not selecting our partners well. These days, it's an era of gratification now, the world of vanity. We all know, we all live through it. And it's way more now, what I'm talking, what it was 20 years back. It's more now. We get so obsessed with chemistry and physical attributes and forget to look for deeper qualities of the individual. No one is actually having tougher conversations with the person that you want to get into this partnership, this marriage with. You're not talking about the real things, and you just out, oh yeah, we go out, we hang out, the vibe is great, but there are a lot of deeper issues that should be talked about, discussed when you're looking for your partner. Few of those things which can come to the top are what you believe in your life. You should be discussing and talking about it. What do you actually believe your life should be? Or what does good life mean to you? It could be very different for me, and it could be very different for the person that you're dating, or the person that you're thinking you get into the marriage with. Um, what is a well-lived life for you? You could be different for you, different for the other person. Or what do you think about having children? Do you want children? If you want children, when do you want children? After the kids, do you think that the mom will be a stay-at-home mom, or how are the responsibilities going to be shared with mom and dad? And another big one is the thought on money. What do you think about money? How much are you looking for? What is a satisfactory thing in your partnership, in your marriage, as you get into it? Another big one is, have you ever talked about spirituality with that person, which is such an important decision that you will make in your life. Another big one was, when the hard times come, how do you want to fight for your relationship? How do you want to keep your family together? It's always good to talk about these things. Nobody's addressing this, and that's the reason the marriage fail rate is so high these days. We don't articulate our emotions, and as a result, we are ready to give up on slightest hint of trouble. Another big one that came up was not cultivating the skills to make long-term relationships last. Skills like patience, conflict resolution, controlling our anger, the deeper, longer, thoughtful conversations that you need to have, where you have to have the patience to sit down and talk and see where you are headed to. As a society, as the race today, as we are living our lives, we are becoming very, very selfish people. We think of what we are not getting way more than what we are not giving into that partnership. We talk about ourselves so much more than we think about us as a group, as a partnership. So I guess giving a little bit more will help, because marriage is a commitment. It's an adjustment. You have to give it for the greater good here. We all get into our heads, whatever's going on in our family life, it's not happening the right way. It gets into our heads, and we start building a story in our head. We keep making that story bigger and bigger, and in which we become the victim and start resentment towards your partner, which becomes a big barrier to see the other side of the coin. That creates way more tension, and as a result, there is no physical attraction left in that relationship towards your partner, no motivation to be together or even hear each other out. And it seems like divorce is the only option left. Most marriages are failing due to these factors. And, at my age, I have seen as just an example of this. Even at my stage, where you've lived together or you've been in a marriage situation for 25, 28 years, and suddenly you are into an emptiness situation, that bond, the kids that kept you together is not there. I have friends around me, quite a few, who have actually divorced each other. So it's just, and that becomes an external factor. So that was another factor that people were talking about, or the research was showing that the 50% rate is all around us. You see it around you. It's around you, and then you get influenced by it. That maybe that's the option that you are left with. You start feeling that the other person opted for it. Maybe that's the way for you to have an easier life, and divorce it is. So it's happening. It's quite a bit. It's not easy. So let's just stop, think, talk, get some help if it's needed, and see if there is a possibility of better outcomes. Please share if you feel that somebody might get help with this. Share what you think about it. 5 pillars of marriage: friendship, love, loyalty, honesty, and respect. The most important relationship that we have is our partner, our marriage. The 5 top pillars that come out for marriage are: the first one and the most important one is friendship with your spouse. It's the most important in marriage, even higher than love. If two people can be friends, spend time with each other, enjoy things together, are each other's best friends, and they have empathy for each other, understand each other. Think about it. Just think about your best friend growing up. And if you could find that somehow in your partner, give it a thought. You will see that's the reason that friendship makes the top of the list. That's the most important thing in the 5 pillars of marriage. The second on the list is love. It is definitely very important, but it's one of the weak pillars in marriage, you feel. As spouses, we fight, we get angry. Our love some days is immense and for each other, but some days you don't even want to look at your partner. This emotion of love goes up and down on a daily basis, depending on how things are going in your marriage, what's happening. My thought is that love is important, but not the top pillar for a successful marriage. It can go up and down and it'll be all right, but friendship takes precedence, because then you will sit down and try to make up why you're fighting or what's actually happening. The third pillar that comes to us is loyalty. This, I feel, is very, very important. The trust in each other as you promise to live together is a key point. Each couple has different levels and ideas about loyalty, especially in our world today. The definition of loyalty for each couple is their own interpretation, like how you want to think your family, your marriage works forward. But I guess both the partners should be on the same page and have discussed in detail. I am totally old school. I am, so for me, being there for someone through the highs and lows and giving them total support is the real thing, real loyalty. And that's how I look at it. What I'm trying to get to is that you as a couple figure it out. What is your base level, what you guys are thinking about? But it is one of the important pillars of marriage. The fourth pillar comes down to honesty. Now, this attribute in marriage is non-negotiable, I feel. It's a permanent, static pillar. Once the decision to be together is made, be super honest about yourself and your actions. It makes things simpler. My personal experience is that you lie about something, just a small, little, non-consequential, I promise you, it will snowball into something so big that it's difficult to come back from it. So be honest in your marriage. The fifth pillar and the last pillar in our marriage is respect. This also is a big one. I think all of these 5 pillars are very important, but I feel this is also a big one, and a very basic thing in this is respecting each other. Two humans living together, trying to make it work. Respect for each other comes down to a basic attribute. Both partners need to give each other total respect, which means due regard for others' feelings, wishes, rights, or traditions. Me being a woman will always give my individual perspective on it as being a woman. We are not looking for flowers and gifts all the time. What we want is chivalry and care. Hold our hand, don't cut us off in conversations, show some sympathy, stop and listen once in a while. Actually, not just once in a while. And don't disregard our ideas, So these are like basic chivalry, basic things that you come across when two people in marriage are talking. And if you keep this as a basic perspective, it is just a better relationship. Well, hopefully you got something out of this chat. Tell us, what is your most important pillar in marriage that's working for you? Your surroundings matter. Be aware where you are spending your time. Let me share a story from my past. I had a friend, a great guy, good son, follows rules, honest man, doing the right thing, living his life. He started his life and started work in a local small town, small company, basic work in a mechanic shop. Every evening, he was happy there. He was doing his thing, but every evening, all those guys who were working with him around at the shop would hang out at a bar, have some drinks, play pool every day, hunky dory, happy going life. But think deeply. You have all the friends you hang out with who are okay with life as is. They don't have any big plans, are just chatting about, you know, younger people, useless talk about girlfriends and dating and, you know, nothing that makes you think or grow bigger or improve yourself or gives you any ideas to start any new work, any new skills or business or anything. What I'm saying is you're having fun and getting very settled into easy way of life and you don't think of change or anything more. This kind of went on for quite a few years. And then I always think maybe it was stroke of luck for him or maybe his thought process changed. Don't know. But he was a lucky guy. He got offered a job in a huge automobile company out of town. He moved, and then me as a friend saw the change happen. Suddenly, he started hanging out with people working there. They all had bigger dreams and bigger aspirations. He even talked to me once that no one over there talks about petty life issues and always is chatting about what they're trying to do or opening some new business or something and or just how to improve life and change up things. And he says, I'm super excited. I love those conversations. I could actually see the spark in him lighting up, and his excitement was so contagious. Moral of the story: I have seen my friend become a successful small business owner in a few years. His life is changing for the better, and he's thriving. Why? Why do you think that? Just the simple change in his circle around him made the big difference for him to find trust in himself to make things happen. If you're not happy and you're looking to change yourself, change your surroundings, your group of buddies, change up the game, see if that makes a difference and makes you thrive. 5 things you tell yourself every morning and check how your feet become happy feet starting the day. The jump in your step will be so different as you attack your day. As you open your eyes in bed in the morning, take a pause. Stay in bed for 5 to 7 extra minutes, pondering on you, me, myself. Wide awake, make these 5 promises to yourself and see how your mood soars as you do morning chores and you will leave the house for work with a happy, joyful mindset. I was actually listening to Mel Robbins' podcast and kind of agreed with her thought about how we talk to ourselves and start our mornings. And here are these 5 thoughts, and if they resonate with you, try them out. The first thought was think an exciting new chapter, a new day is beginning in your life. Bring it on. I will do my best to deal with the day. This is just a mindset shift. If you tell that the day is going to be a good day and you're going to be able to do what needs to be done, you just see the difference. And personally, I have actually tried it, and believe me, it works. Negative things going on or coming your way that day, You're just able to address them better. They don't bother you much. The second thing is, you can tell yourself in the morning while you're still lingering in your bed, I'm totally allowed to be a work in progress. I'm doing my best to show up for myself and to keep improving yourself. Third thing is, no matter what happens today, I am ready to face it. This thought gives us a mindset to face things. Even let's say you fail, or maybe you'll succeed, but the bigger picture is, you got this. You can deal with it. I can do this. Fourth thing is, give yourself more credit for how hard you're trying daily. There are issues, we all know, we all go through life, there are always things. But if you tell yourself, I'm trying my best, and if you're showing up for yourself daily, you will be rewarded for that. Nobody promised us an easy life, everything hunky-dory. Nobody promised us. But I promised myself to try daily, to deal with it. Fifth and the last point in this is, I'm going to make today a happy day. And believe it or not, I have done that and it works. This totally changes the vibration around you and your energy moves into a positive sphere. Try these things and see how your mindset shift. Share your experiences and send this to your buddies who need help in the mornings. Change your life in a year. So the first thing is, do a life appraisal. Like, just sit down one day and think where you are in terms of your health, your finances, your career, your relationships, your personal development, family, and the free time that you give yourselves. Just like do an audit, an appraisal of where you are at this point of time. What changes would you like to make in these areas of life, which will give you the biggest impact for a major shift that you're looking for a better life? The second thing is a big mindset shift. Unless in our minds we think that we are looking for change and how we are looking for it and what we want to do, nothing's going to change. What we think and believe is what we act upon. That is such a basic truth. It's your mindset that sets the tone for everything in your life. Changing your mindset towards positive thoughts will change everything. Just try it. Just give it a shot. From now on, anything negative or bad that happens in your life, instead of thinking about yourself as a victim of that, ask yourself, how can you control it? Or how can you change it? Act on the negative thing that happened so it does not reoccur again. In this process of changing yourself or changing your life, create a vision, a very clear vision. What clear vision does is gives you clear purpose, what you want to achieve in your life. Put your thoughts and ideas on a vision board. What do you want to see in 1 year? Where you want to be? Put short-term goals and then long-term goals on paper and start working towards them. If your goal is to lose weight, then act upon it. Start some physical exercise. Eat better. Work on it. If you work on your goal, you will get to it sooner or later. And the fourth point that we will look at on this is work on yourself daily. Daily work is needed. Be accountable to yourself. Check on you daily. Are you doing the work? Is there improvement? If you see the change happening, great. That's awesome. That means whatever you thought is working. Otherwise, change your game plan. Saying goes, if you water the plants a little every day, you will definitely have a garden in due time. Simple. You put some seeds out and you have to water them every day. In due time, there will be a garden. The seeds will come out, there'll be little saplings, and you will have beautiful flowers. So be patient, do the work, and check your vision board daily. Next point in this was design your surroundings for success. Example, if you have all the negative thinking friends around you and you hang out with them all the time, don't hang out with them. make a solid thought process, find another group of buds who can motivate you to do something, who are also on a path of improvement in life. Learning new skills, or just improve on your existing ones. Learn from books, podcasts, free courses on the web. Look for improving your skills. Let's buckle up if you're looking for a change. Start the change, do the work. And on the way, enjoy the process too. When you are rebuilding yourself, so many new emotions and happy moments are going to come along. Stop and enjoy them. Be present to enjoy those moments and see what the change is going to do for you.